You know in Cinderella, when Gus Gus is trying to carry more corn than he should and it just keeps exploding out of his mouth and falling everywhere and making a huge mess and he almost gets eaten by a cat? That's kind of how I feel about this stack of books. I literally can't even hold it up. So hey guys, so today I'm doing my Goodbye Autumn or Goodbye Fall book haul, and boy did I treat my shelf. Bad jokes aside, I'm gonna get right into the stacks because there were way more books than I should have bought this month. This is way more books than I typically buy in a season. I usually don't get this many, but between the 3 for $10 table at Kohl's and some sales on Book Outlet and wanting to do Spookathon in October, we have got an abundance of books today. Woo! So getting right into the books, the first book that I have here is Scythe, which is like one of the most hyped series going on right now. And I have had a lot of people that I'm subscribed to that I watch who all really enjoyed this series. I feel like some loved the toll more than others, but everyone said it was a very satisfying ending, so I'm pretty excited to get into this. Anybody who knows me and knows my qualms with the word glean knows I'm gonna have to choke on that one for a lot because I also got Thunderhead and have to read the toll. And I know that that's what they call it when they like kill people, is like gleaning or something.
The Clockmaker's Daughter ruined that word for me.
I've never really had a word that I hated before, but glean is a word that I don't like. And because I got Scythe, I grabbed Thunderhead. These were both on Book Outlet, both incredibly inexpensive, so I had to get them both, and they're both hardcover, which I love. Next in the stack, we have Diane Satterfield's Once Upon a River. I think I settled on this one at like 3.5 stars. There were aspects of this one that I really liked, and then aspects that I like thought were a little bit meh. So it kind of was middle of the road for me. I did have an enjoyable time reading it, but like my thoughts and feelings post finishing it just weren't like super exciting and like this was my favorite book of all time. Nothing like that. But I thought it was a solid read. I think some people would love it more than others. This is sort of a magical realism set. I can't remember what year. It's a historical fiction based, and it's set along the Thames River,
which The Clockmaker's Daughter has also ruined for me.
Everything that's in The Clockmaker's Daughter literally just ruined everything for me. Anyway, this book starts out with a man who stumbles into sort of like a tavern with this little girl who everyone presumes dead. She has no vital signs, and so they kind of take her and put her somewhere else and tend to this man because he's severely injured. And then someone goes to check on the little girl. I can't remember how exactly or what exactly makes her go in to check. And the little girl ends up waking up, so she ends up not being dead. And then we end up finding out that there's 3 separate families or perspectives in the town who are all claiming that this little girl belongs with them. And then kind of like a mystery ensues. I really liked the character, Mr. Armstrong, like the senior one. I thought he was really sweet. I really enjoyed his character. I liked his outlook. I thought he was very enjoyable. There was kind of a problem where it was hard to remember the characters and they didn't have a huge difference, specifically with the male characters I found. And each of the male characters had like 2 to 3 different ways that they were referenced, which also made it kind of confusing. It was just hard to follow in that aspect. And I tend to like large casts. I just don't like when characters have multiple different names that they're called by. So anyway, Once Upon a River, definitely a cover buy. This one I actually painted the spine on, and it's like one of the prettiest books that I own. I leave it on the shelf like this because I think it's cool and I'm pretty proud of it. But I did enjoy this one, just didn't love it. And because I thought that one was okay, I decided to grab The 13th Tale, also by Diane Satterfield. I have no idea what this one was about. I read the synopsis on Book Outlet, now I don't remember. Someone said this is a really good winter read on Instagram, and a lot of people have said they loved this even more than Once Upon a River. So I'm expecting to really like this one. Next is one that I have heard both good and bad, like very polarizing, not middle of the road either, loved it or hated it kind of reviews. This is Hidden Sea by Gregory Maguire. You guys saw this in a vlog because I did show you, but it has one of the coolest hardcovers I've ever seen, which even if I hate it, probably won't get rid of it because it's so pretty. We'll see. This is sort of like a retelling of the Nutcracker, but I guess it's about the man who built the Nutcracker, I think. I read the first page. It starts out with a cat in labor. Very random. Don't know what's going on. Very intrigued. Hopefully I'll get to it in December, but we shall see. But I am excited about that one. You'll notice a few of these are Christmas themed because I did order them in the fall for the upcoming like Christmas themed readathons. The next one is Carols and Chaos by Cindy Anstey. Or Anstey. I still don't know how to say her name. I'm sorry. I should look it up. Haven't. This is a historical romance set in 1817. I believe it has to do with like a housekeeper, and I don't remember exactly how the guy comes into play, but they're working for like a rich family, I believe, and some kind of mystery ensues. Something shady is going on and they get wrapped up in it and fall in love or something. I don't usually go for romance that much, but this one had a beautiful cover, which I plan on spamming my Instagram with, and also it sounded like it could be a cute Christmassy read. I love like Hallmark movies. I'm just always hesitant about reading books because I feel like I'll hate read it, so we'll see how this goes. The next one is also a Christmas read. This is A Quilt for Christmas by Sandra Dallas, and this is set around the Civil War. A bunch of women are sewing a quilt and they end up, I believe, hiding an escaped slave and saving someone from being captured during the Civil War. So this one is another one that I'm going to try and get to during those winter readathons. And then we also have Misery by Stephen King. I have never read Stephen King. You guys know this because I've mentioned it a couple times. This will be my first read by Stephen King. I'm very much looking forward to this one. I'm not a huge fan of paranormal, like scary, it freaks me out. But this one is, as far as I know, more like slasher horror, like torture, that kind of stuff. I can totally handle that. I just don't like the paranormal stuff because it gives me the heebie-jeebies. I'm really excited to read this. I don't know if I'll get to it this year, likely not, but I will read it in the winter months, hopefully, because it looks like a really cold winter read. And then we have The Room on Rue Amélie by Kristen Harmel, World War II historical fiction set in Paris. Thought this cover was really pretty. I love World War II historical fiction. It's like my favorite niche genre ever, so I don't really need to know what it's about. People fighting baddies. Love it. My book pile is a mess, and my books are gonna get messed up. Next on the pile, we have An Anonymous Girl by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. This one was a letdown. I can't remember what I rated it. I think I might have given it like a 2-star or 1. I don't remember. I don't remember how ruthless I was with it. I feel like I gave it a 2 because it was easy reading and it was like, I feel like it was well written. I just thought it was kind of stupid and I really didn't like it. I didn't mind the one main character until the very end, and then she did something shady and I didn't really like her anymore. And the other character I just didn't really care about, and I was expecting it to be a lot more like morbid and like challenging your morals, and it was more just like a hidden agenda, and I didn't like it. So I probably will never read another book by them because I don't like to go into a book thinking I'm going to hate it, and I don't want to spend money on a book that I think I'm going to hate. Next we have An Unwanted Guest by Sherry Lapina. This is, I guess, a murder mystery thriller kind of a thing. A bunch of people go stay in a hotel, somebody dies, who's the killer? As far as I know, that's the plot. That's what's going on. I do plan on starting this. Actually, by the time this is up, hopefully I've read it. Then we have And Then There Were None, which I read in a couple of days. I really, really enjoyed it. I guessed who it was, and then I second-guessed myself, and then in the end, I found out that I was right. So I was really excited about that. That's all I'm gonna say because it's so short. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone. This is like a classic mystery. I really liked this, and it did make me want to read more Agatha Christie. I haven't picked any more up, but maybe for like next year, I'll pick up a couple more for Spookathon again next year and see if I can get through them. But I really did like this. I think I gave it 4 stars, I think. It wasn't like a perfect read for me, but it was enjoyable. It only took a couple days, and it was really fun and like really kept me guessing the whole way through. I do want to watch, I think there's a movie and a BBC series, and I would really like to watch them both, honestly. Next in the pile, we have Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Sorry, my voice is getting worn out. Apparently I've been talking way too much. It's getting a little raspy. I think I gave this one 3 stars. I enjoyed it. I thought the first 2/3 or so were really, really good. Like those would have been like 4.5, 5 stars for me. I really enjoyed the beginning of this book, but the ending for such a short book, I felt like the last third really, really dragged out, and it was a really, really long, drawn out kind of cat and mouse sort of story. That being said, I really liked the themes in this book. I actually did like Victor Frankenstein's character. Everyone says that he's the true monster, and
I guess I'm gonna have to be like the devil's advocate here and disagree. I really don't think he was that horrible of a person.
I feel like, from my perspective anyway, This book is more of like a memoir of someone who regrets. Anyway, I just don't think that Frankenstein is the true monster. If you want to hear my further thoughts on that, ask down below and I'll answer you, but I don't want to like spoil the story or like the character arc kind of business. Next on the stack we have Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson. I still have to read Words of Radiance, which I'm really excited to do in the new year, but I wanted to pick this up because it finally came out in the mass market size. Honestly, if I didn't have to wait like 2 years or something for the mass markets to come out, I would buy them all probably in this size, but I feel like once I catch up, I'm gonna have to buy the rest in hardcover, and then these will just be like the little ratty beginnings to my obsession with this story. Really, really loved the first one. I thought that The Way of Kings was so good, and I loved every minute of it, and it was huge, but it didn't feel nearly as big as it actually is. Like, it's a massive book, but to me, it didn't feel like it was as big as it actually was, to just repeat myself again. And this one is super exciting because we got The Lies of Locke Lamora, and it is in the cover that I wanted. I ended up reordering this straight from Book Outlet because I didn't want to worry about getting another ugly cover again, but I really love this cover and I just wanted this particular edition because I want to get all of the ones that are in this like set. I really love this cover. Green is my favorite color. I think this is really pretty, and I don't have to look at that hideous yellow one anymore. It will be in an unhaul pile very soon. I'm looking forward to starting this series in 2020 because if I don't already have enough series on the go, I need to add another one. And then the last few in the stack, they're all classics. You guys know there's been a couple other classics in here too, but the last 4 are just happen to be classics in a pile. You guys know I've been semi-obsessed with classics this year. I think I might have read 6, I think? I'm not entirely sure. I think it's around 6, which is a lot more than I read ever before in my life, and I've been loving them. So the first one that I have here is Sense and Sensibility. I read Pride and Prejudice in the summer, loved it. I want to read this one. I kind of want to read all of Jane Austen's books, and this cover is just stunning. It actually matches Pride and Prejudice, so that's kind of neat. This is also from Book Outlet. The next one that I have is Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. Reading A Gentleman in Moscow this year made me really want to try Russian classics again. I tried to read Anna Karenina, oh gosh, maybe 12 years ago or something now, and I couldn't get into it. That was like the first classic I'd ever read, and obviously it was a really bad place to start because it literally put me off of classics for over a decade. After starting that, I was just like, nope, big fat nope, I want nothing to do with them. And then thanks to Murphy and her love of classics, I was like, maybe I should retry. And I've just fallen into a rabbit hole, and I have liked to loved pretty much everyone that I've read so far. The next one in the pile is Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen, another Jane Austen book. This one's really short, so I feel like I could kick this one out pretty quickly. I feel like it'll be another like cute story. Again, don't know what it's about. I really love these editions. These were like the 3 for $10 books at Kohl's. They actually match Crime and Punishment and the next book that I'm going to talk about, which is David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. I think the only book I've read by Charles Dickens is A Christmas Carol, and it's very, very short. And this one is very, very long, and if you take note, the font is quite small, and the margins are even smaller. Like, it's right to the edge of the page. I do really love these editions, though. I think they're really pretty. I'm really looking forward to reading these sometime next year. Again, I don't know. I have like 10 or 12 classics around my room. Anywho, these are all the books that I've acquired in the last few months. Since whenever I put up the last haul, these are the books that I've acquired since then. It's not 1 month, it's been a few, if not like 4. I don't know how long it's been. I can't remember. But I can't pick them all up because they're massive and heavy and it was hard enough to do the first time. Let me know down below, are any of these on your radar? Have you read any of them? Have you loved them? Have you hated them? No spoilers, but I'm always interested to hear about like what you guys thought of these or what you guys think, or if you guys are excited about them, or if there's any that you think I really, really need to get to really, really quickly, all that good stuff. Leave it down in the comment section. It makes my day when you guys comment on my videos. It makes me so excited. I get so happy, and I just find it so fun to reply to you guys and talk to you because it makes this way less one-sided. While you're down there, don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell so you don't miss future notifications. I do upload most Mondays and Thursdays, and I will talk to you guys all next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.